Hi, Victor van Kampen here from Holland. I would like to discuss some things about the drop 2 voicing in this video. Now I know there are thousands of videos here on YouTube that are discussing this subject, but very few videos explain the formulas that derive from this drop 2 voicing. So that's what I'm going to get into today. And let's say if I take a major 7 chord on C, you have a root position and you have 3 inversions of a 7 chord. Now the drop 2 principle applies to every inversion. Okay, the first one I'll play is a C major 7 starting with a root. So the formula here is 1, 5, major 7, 3. The first inversion is starting with a 3, and then you get the 3, the major 7, the 1 and the 5. Now this is a beautiful voicing because the major 7 is placed against the root, so you get a beautiful dissonance. Then I have the second inversion, and that's starting with the 5th. 5, 1, 3, major 7. And the last one is the major 7, 3, 5, 1. So I can play them like this. Alright. So that's very important to see all these inversions on your guitar. And what I do now is take the 2 chord of the tonality of C, which is a D minor 7, and I do the same principle with this. Let's say if we start with a root position, you'll get this chord. Sorry, 7. So that's root 5, 7 and minor 3rd. The second one is starting with the 3rd, with the F. That's F, C, D, A. Then with the 5th below, that would be 5, 1, 3, 7. And then 7, 3, 5, 1. Now we have the dominant chord, and in this case it's a G7. G7 it's also dominant of C, and I'm starting with the one with the root position here. So same formula, 1, 5, 7, 3. Then I play 3, 7, 1, 5. Then 5, 1, 3, 7. You could also play it open. And then 7, 3, 5, 1. You play it like this. Okay, what you also can do to really get a firm understanding of this material is, for instance, taking the root position and playing all the 7 chords of the tonality. And you can do that with the inversions as well. So I'll give you one example. So let's say I'm taking the one starting with a root. So then it will be 1, 5, 7, 3. This is the D minor chord. E minor. G7, A minor 7. So I'm making a mistake over here. This is a... So A minor, B half diminished and C. So if you do that, let's say with starting with the fifth, you'd get this formula. Half diminished. So you see, every voicing is quite different, and you can work out the other two. Let's say the one starting with the third and the one starting with the major 7, and then work through the whole tonality. But what I'll do now is take the common progression that you find in jazz is 2-5-1, and play them in an order that the voice leading is very smooth. So let's take D minor 7 here, starting with the flat third with the F. Then I'm going to G7, major 7, that beautiful voicing, and I can play it. Okay, so I could do, you could play it like that, but what I want to incorporate here is a little device I like a lot. Say you have, you know that you could replace the G7 chord with a half diminished chord on the 7th of the chord. The 7th of the G7 is an F, so you could play a half diminished chord over here. And when you look at the original G7 chord, you see that the 7th and the 3rd are remaining, and what's happening, I'm raising the 5th to the flat 13 and the root to the flat 9, and then automatically you get a half diminished chord, which is this sound. Some people are second finger, you could also do it. And when you play it like this, I'll give an example. Love that voicing. So you're hearing I'm playing the original dominant, and I'm playing an altered dominant, which is containing the flat 13 and the flat 9. And I do this also with the other inversions. So let's say I'm starting on this D minor over here. So let me give you the inversions of the F half diminished chord first. They're like these. This is the root position and 3 inversions. And these I'm going to place in between. Have a look. So the second version is this. You could play them in a row. Let's say that you're comping, and it's always good to have them under your belt. Let's say I'm going to play all these inversions now going down. So This is a good way to study it, and as an addition you could look up the voicings on the other 4 strings here in between. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to play them all, but you can compare them with the voicings that I just did now, and you'll see that when I'm starting with the root, that would be over here. On the high strings it would be here. Lower on these strings it would be. A hell of a voicing this is to play. That's comparing this one. Same sound. Listen. All right. You can play this one. Okay, so you see that the sound of these voicings are the same on these 4 strings. So the A, D, G and B. And compare them, and so you'll learn a hell of a lot about playing and adapting the drop 2 voicing. It's a more sophisticated way, but hope you got something out of this video, and see you around on the tube. Bye bye.